Or maybe we laugh when we really don't feel like it to cover up our insecurities. Or maybe we become depressed and withdraw from everything. One only has to look at what's going on in this world to realize that suicides are happening at an alarming rate, and not just among gay teenagers. The number one age group now for suicide is senior citizens. From the front page of the newspaper to the deep corners of the human heart is a cry that's going up. And it's that searching, longing cry of a culture and a world that is now in crisis. We're asking, where is hope? Where is peace? What's the purpose and meaning of life here in this world? Maybe you're one of those who feels like you messed up too many times. Maybe you think God would never forgive me now. I've just gone too far. I've done too many things. I've waited too long to try to turn my life around. You may think that God, the potter that's referred to in our text this morning, has thrown away the clay of your life. But God has not thrown away the clay of your life. God has come to take that clay of your life and turn it into the vessel that it was intended to be. Sometimes we all feel like broken pieces of pottery. But God has come to repair us. And when someone says that you're worth it, God says you're worth everything. And He has given everything for us. He wants to take the broken pieces of our lives and put them back together and make them into something new. God can take the worst of homes and restore them. God can take the worst of relationships and work out the problems. God can take the worst of addicts and make them clean. What makes you think that God can't remake a life? There was a psychiatrist who visited a rescue mission, and he listened intently to the testimonies of many of the converts there. And the superintendent asked him if he would like to say a word to these people. The psychiatrist stood and said, "Tonight I have been given an opportunity to observe something I did not know existed anywhere. It has been my privilege to listen to the testimony of men who are glad to witness to what Christ has done for them. I know nothing about that, but I confess I cannot otherwise explain what has taken place in their lives. A few of these men I recognize as drunkards and dope addicts. Some of them have been my patients at the hospital. But here they are, alive, well-dressed, delivered, and in their right minds. I do not know how the miracle has been wrought, but of one thing I am confident. Nothing in science can account for this change in them. That kind of gospel is worth preaching to anyone, anywhere." Jesus Christ is in the life-changing business. He can make us into new creatures. So when you feel like your life is a mess, when you don't know where to turn, just remember, God sent Jesus for us to turn to. And He can remake us. He can redeem our vessel. And He can repair it. And not only does He redeem and repair, but He refills it. The emptiness that we feel in our life sometimes, God wants to fill. God wants to make us complete when we feel worthless. He wants to fill that spot of worthlessness. He wants to come into our lives and fill it with what has been missing. He doesn't just want to buy back our vessel. He doesn't want to just repair it, and then just have a little keepsake sitting around somewhere. You know, those tchotchkes that we all get so frustrated dusting off. God wants to fill our vessels up and make us useful. God doesn't want us to be a tchotchke. God wants us to be useful. We may feel hopeless. We may feel broken. But God always stands ready to buy us back. We may feel like we're beyond the hope of anyone. But there are a few things that God cannot do simply because He is God. God can't leave you. God can't forsake you. God can't stop loving you. God can't forget about you. God can't neglect His children. God can't be given a job that God can't handle. God can't make a loser. God can't make a mistake. God can't lose. God can't be unforgiving when we ask for forgiveness. God cannot fail. Mark it down. It will never happen. When you feel like everything else has gone wrong and your life has fallen apart, remember, God wants to give you hope. He wants to give you peace. He sent Christ to redeem us. He paid the price to redeem us. And He wants to remake us. And He wants to refill us every day. God didn't throw away the clay of life. It's up to us to accept His sacrifice for us and to place the clay of our lives in the hands of God, the master potter, the greatest potter who ever existed.